are recording in
You got the music?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to The Last Time I Show You. It's the show where usually I catch up with people like classmates, neighbors, and former students. I'm your host, Miss Comer, but today and for the next few episodes, we're going to be switching it up a little bit. So, as you can see, or maybe you can hear, I am flying solo today. I decided that sometimes it's kind of difficult to keep track of guests and get them to come in, and people canceling because of different reasons, and they're all legit reasons. But I just was like, I kind of want to just go in and have a really good show and make some changes. This is not permanent. I will be having some of the students you met previously come back probably in the fall. But right now I'm going to focus on other things, and I really like my logo, so I really don't want to change the name if I don't have to. So my goal is to find another way of creating the show that still uses the same logo, but that's a story for another day. I will be offering my opinions, of course, because what I'm going to be talking about eventually, or as the show goes on, as you see, as you listen or you see, I'm going to be talking about things to watch or shows to watch during the summer break. Because as you all know, I'm a teacher, and so a lot of times what I do is I get caught up on all the shows that I didn't get to watch, especially on Netflix and stuff. And so those are some things I'm going to be talking about. So. Anyway, that being said, you are always welcome to call into the studio. Our number is 248-579-5295. Call in anytime. And this is episode number 9. So I'm just going to switch it up a little bit. So the last time I saw you, fans of the show, or fan of the show, I should say, I was talking to one of my favorite students named Muhammad, and like I said, I'm going to probably have him come back and talk about what he's doing in the future. Um, let's see, what else? And today I'm going to talk about what I've been up to. I am I'm teaching summer school, okay? It is kind of a mess, a bit of a mess. Because some of the kids, they really struggling. Like when I say struggling, they're just struggling to come to school. It's not even the work. It's like they are struggling just to get to school, because I have to call them and their parents at like 8 o'clock in the morning, tell their parents that these kids are not here yet. So let's see. So they're other than that, they're doing pretty good. I have a kid that unfortunately, I guess he has to work at the family store. So he literally falls asleep in front of the computer all morning, and I'm constantly waking him up. So, I mean, if anybody has ideas for keeping students awake for a few hours, I'd love to hear it. I will kind of take anything. Torturing, it's not an option. I know people are thinking that, but unfortunately, or at least anything that leaves a mark, I should say. So I'm doing summer school. Summer school helps me pay for my habit, which is teaching. So it kind of supplements my income. And I also have a second job after that. So I work a lot, even though, I'm technically supposed to be off for the summer recharging. I'm not doing that. Let's see. Yeah. So, and I did go to a concert last week, and I'll just talk about it briefly. I went to see J Lo. The tour was called the "It's My Party" tour. How could I put this? It was a good show. I'm not sure what I was expecting. I knew I wasn't going to Vegas to see her residency, so I felt an imperative to see her when she came through Motown. It was pretty good. I don't know. And I'm sorry, I'm wishy-washy on it. But it was, I found that she used tracks a lot. Not a lot, but quite well. She used music tracks with her voice. So it's kind of weird. I'm not used to that. She did kind of soul, uh, R&B type session, and so she was singing, I want to say James Brown and Aretha Franklin, and I just would think, that since she's in Motown and we just lost the Queen of Soul, that she kind of would have mentioned that when she was kind of singing a little bit of respect. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. Um, but it was nice. She had a lot of beautiful costumes. Her daughter came out and sang, and she had a lot of kids in the show. So I don't know. So anyway, the next concert I'm going to is Celine Dion. And the only reason I bought the tickets is because I was up. Yeah, sometimes I can't sleep, or I go to sleep really hard for like 4 hours, and I'm up at 1 a.m. for no reason. So anyway, Ticketmaster kept sending me these notifications. Your Celine Dion tickets are still waiting. So I decided, you know what? Let me just go to this concert and check her out. Again, I'm not going to Vegas. Well, she's not in Vegas anymore, I don't think. But I was never able to make it out to her to see her show. So she's bringing it to Detroit. So I'm going to go see her, and I will give you feedback on that. So, and my goal, I guess, for the past year was to try to go to concerts, because I think before last year, I hadn't been to a concert since I was like 16 or 17. So, I just felt like I needed to go. So I do. And sometimes I go by myself, sometimes I go with a friend, but it's definitely something I like to do. Well, actually, I don't. It's a pain to get dressed and to go to these places and then sit and wait and, whatever. But so I wasn't going to go to Celine, but, 1 o'clock in the morning and you're, kind of tired. But boy, that would be nice, in my stupor. So I did. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to give you a spoiler alert at the beginning so that you know what I'm talking about in case you haven't watched them. I watch these shows on Netflix because sometimes I just like to watch things in order. Like, I don't want to wait, a week or 2 weeks or sometimes months in between episodes, So I go ahead and watch them on Netflix. So I think all of these I watch on Netflix. So today, and this is serving as your spoiler alert, if you have not watched the latest season of The Flash, Arrow, or DC's Legends of Tomorrow, or Jessica Jones, please listen to this, or please stop listening and listen to this later, okay? So this is serving as your spoiler alert warning. Now, let's start with how I feel about, DC and Marvel and all that. I'm not a purist. I have to be honest. I really don't care. I'm not very picky. If I like a character out of that universe, I'm down with it. Some people are very, very divided on what they like. They either like Marvel or they like DC. They don't care for the other. I mix and match. I really don't care. Whoever's got the best story, the best movie going on, best show, I'm going to be there. So I'm not at all a purist. And I'm not like an actual comic book person. I don't go around collecting comic books. Didn't do it as a kid. But so I'm not as familiar with, some of you may be watching. So if you want to call in and give your opinion, feel free. And anyway, so let's start with The Flash. Now, I like The Flash. It's kind of, I don't know what's the word. It's more of a relaxed, things do happen, but, it's still kind of normally, Main Street kind of thing. And in this season, Barry and, I can't think of the wife's name, his wife, they end up having their daughter show up, okay? And it's kind of weird because you think, in real life, if you had a child show up that's fully grown and you never got to raise, I guess if you were adopted, it's kind of like that. But they don't even know her. It's so weird. Anyway, so she shows up and all these, adventures ensue, which, yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, it was interesting. I also like that Cisco was trying to find love, and so Cisco works at the lab with them, and so he found this girl he liked, and he kept acting like he was different people, which kind of is very similar to real life, like especially when you do online dating, like I have, like it's one person that's on the website, and then somebody else completely crazy shows up, so. It was kind of like that. So he kind of had to figure out that she really liked him for him, which it's ironic because I knew when he was showing up kind of as these other people, even though it was him, it was like it was like you wanted to tell him, look, just be yourself. But, of course, people have to kind of figure it out for themselves. So anyway, and so I do like Cisco, and I'm glad he found a girl that's just normal, and he wanted to be normal. So he's, as far as I remember, is no longer a superhero. He was willing to give up his powers because he didn't want to deal with it anymore. So, I mean, again, spoiler alert. Sorry if you didn't listen and you to me earlier and you are listening and haven't watched it. It was really good. All right, and then Caitlin kind of finds her dad who'd been missing for all this time, all these years, and then he ends up sacrificing himself for her. That was very sad. I love that. I like Caitlin. I like her a lot. The next one, sorry, I didn't mean to take such a deep breath, but is Arrow. I started watching Arrow a little late, but I ended up watching all the episodes. And with Arrow, it is the end of their series. And I meant to Google why they ended it, but I forgot. So if you know and you want to call in, feel free to call in. But it was not that good. I was kind of disappointed. I really loved this show, and I don't know what I wanted, but I still feel a little bit unsatisfied. And again, I can't put my finger on why, but it was just I don't know. I was saddened, and I don't know, people disappearing and off into the future and all this. I don't know. And then again, you meet their kids. Everybody's got kids, and they're all grown, and I don't know. I wasn't a fan. And I really liked that show. I really was rooting for it, but in the end, like, people just disappear and, off into the wherever, and you don't. And I think that's what's bothering. It's like, so what are they doing now? Where are they? Are they fighting crime? Are they, chilling somewhere on the beach? I mean, I don't know. It didn't sound like that's where they were going, but they got pressed into service to do something. I don't even know. Like some alien guy came and said, you got to go. And, and off they went. So I could have done without that one. The next one is DC's Legend of Tomorrow. Now, when I first started watching this, and I'll be honest, I was not watching this show in the beginning. A lot of these shows, like I think I just started with The Flash a couple of years ago on Netflix, and then they did the crossover show. So then I kind of started watching all the shows. Although I have to say, before I go to Legends, I don't watch Supergirl, and I don't know why. I have not been a fan. So I don't watch Supergirl. But I watch her when she's on, when they do the crossover event, when there's like, 3 or 4 of them, they put their shows together and everybody's on everybody else's show. So I do like that aspect of it. But I'm not a fan of watching Supergirl by herself. And I'm not sure why. So if anybody wants to convince me to watch it, I'm open to that. But I don't know. There's something about her I just don't seem to want to get into. So that being said, where was I? Okay, so yeah, DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Now, first of all, I just want to go back from the previous seasons. I think last season was when Dr. Stein and Jefferson kind of left the show, and I was really heartbroken. I really liked them, and they were good together. I think they were Firestorm when they were together. But anyway, yeah, Firestorm. And I was really brokenhearted about that. And I'm still kind of like, I keep thinking like they're going to come back, but they're not. So that's very disappointing. But they've moved on from that, and I'm okay. They have good new people, so I'm okay with that. So I think for me, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, I don't want to keep saying that, Legends, is the show where they kind of are not bound to the regular rules of television. Like, they just do whatever. So there was one where there was some crazy puppets running around. They got possessed. Oh my God. And I mean, it was hilarious. And I'm thinking, like, this is funny. This is good stuff. And they just don't care. It's like they literally go into a room. They say, okay, what is the weirdest, craziest thing we can do? And then they do that. Okay, like there was a scene where, or a scene or an episode where, there was a Bollywood, where they were singing. I mean, I don't even remember how they got there, but it was like, everybody was singing in different vignettes. And like I said, one was Bollywood. Was one time they were like a Muppet show. I mean, they really just kind of do whatever. And I kind of like that about that show. So that's kind of why I really, really like it. Um, but at the end of this most recent season, again, spoiler alert, Zari, like they go around, they mess with time all the time. And I mean, that's the show. And I get that, which makes it interesting. It gives them good show ideas. But Zari is now no longer part of the group. Okay. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going to happen? Because her brother, somehow, I don't even remember, but her brother is now um, taking over her spot. So it's like he was always there. And I'm like, how are they going to work that out? Is it going to be like they don't remember Zari? Is it going to be like Zari shows up and, because I think she was in a relationship with one of them. Well, she was, or starting a relationship. I mean, will he remember her? Will she remember him? Like, it's just, really interesting. And I don't know. It's very kind of sad that you know something that the crew doesn't know. But in a lot of these shows, I would say go watch them with your kids and all that other stuff because they're really good. Um, and then I'll talk about more in another episode. But for this one, Legends, they do have a lead couple that are lesbians. Now, I think that's kind of cool, but some parents may like, I don't want to talk about that with my kids right now, which I understand. So just be forewarned that they're really kind of like a normal. And I don't want to say they're not normal, but they show their relationship is just like a heterosexual relationship. Like they go through problems and irritations, and and they kind of come back together, and they kind of argue sometimes, and it's really interesting, and it's good. I like to see the characters happy. If they're happy, I'm happy. So, okay, let's move on. Again, feel free to call in if you choose to, if you would like to. I mean, even my mom isn't calling in, so don't take it personal. I don't take it personal. But it is 248-579-5295 if you want to call in. Let's see. The next one is Jessica Jones, which I actually really like. Jessica Jones. Jessica has been canceled. However, this was Jessica's again, and this last season and the last episode left me a little, I don't want to say confused, but kind of like, meh. Jessica Jones, when she starts off, she's really, and she is kind of this, oh, well, she isn't kind of. She is a very reluctant hero. She is a hero with kind of superpowers, but she does not want to get involved. And I get that. She kind of just wants to drink, I want to say it's bourbon she likes. And, she just wants to hang out. She doesn't really want to do all this, superhero stuff. So she's a private detective. And she lives in it's not like she lives in a palatial mansion. She lives in a little apartment, kind of rundown apartment in New York somewhere. And, oh my gosh, there's so much about this one. But anyway, she's very cranky about it. She will help you reluctantly. She'll use her powers reluctantly, but she really is not down with all of this. Anyway, so she's got a friend named Trish, and Trish and her mom, oh my God, her mom was so good. Her mom was, Trish was like a child star actress type thing, person. And, so she kind of gets recognized everywhere she goes. And this season, you find out how she became famous and how she got her start on her sitcom, and how her mom was really, you really get to hate her mom in previous seasons, I think. And this one, I kind of understood her more, except they killed her off. Again, sorry, spoiler alert. So it's kind of sad because it's like, oh, okay, I was more accepting of Trisha's mom. Even though she was a little manic and crazy. But I was really sad because, oh, yeah. Oh, anyway, so yeah, so Trish ends up kind of towards the end of last season getting a treatment to become a superhero herself. Because she wants to help people. So it's this weird kind of juxtaposition with this hero that doesn't want to be one, and one that goes through a lot of pain and a lot of trouble to become one. And then when Trish gets the treatments, it's not like it's instantaneous. She's doing stuff. She has to actually train too. So part of the season she's training to be a superhero, where she's finally figured it out. But the only problem is that people recognize her. I mean, it's just like all these things, and that's the part that's really good with this show. I like that part, but I'll get to the part that the ending was like, bleh. And I don't know. I don't know. Endings for series are difficult for me, I guess, because I'm never satisfied. But I guess it would be more satisfying if it were a complete ending, like somebody's dead or somebody's doing this. Anyway, so Trish decides to become a crime fighter, and but she has to wear a mask so nobody can identify her because, again, she's very famous. And then they introduce a serial killer, and I mean like a wacky, like creepy, mean. I mean, I don't know, like torturing serial killer. Okay, so it's kind of like, really, I mean, it was okay. Things had to happen. I get why they kind of did it, but it was interesting that I don't know. I wasn't expecting a serial killer on this type of a show. I mean, I don't know. Every time I think of these shows, I think, well, and Jessica wasn't the typical superhero, so I guess it makes sense. Anyway, so some things happen with Trish, and oh my God, she ends up kind of going over the deep end, and she is very becomes like, she goes up to the ledge and then she goes over the cliff, and she wants revenge. Okay, so that creates a different problem, and unfortunately, the only person that can kind of stop her is Jessica. So it was kind of sad, seeing them have to go after each other. But like I said, two superheroes kind of going at it. I mean, not a bad thing. I guess that's what they do. Um, and then I really like the guy that plays Malcolm. Malcolm was, when he started season one, I was worried for him myself. He started off as like this drug user, and he ends up kind of getting his life together. I love that part. I love the transformation of Malcolm, because by the end of the series, he's like wearing these really expensive suits. He's making money. He's working for Hogarth, who's this lawyer played by Carrie Ann Moss, if you remember The Matrix. She was in that. That's like where I remember her from the most. And she's Neil's, Keanu Reeves' girlfriend in The Matrix, and I'm very jealous, and I'm trying to still get over that. But anyway, Malcolm is now working for Hogarth, and like I said, Carrie Ann Moss, and so he's making tons of money, and he looks so nice in his little suits. That's just an aside. And everybody gets morally conflicted in this show, because he's a good guy, and then he kind of goes over the edge, and he causes, basically, something he does leads to somebody else committing suicide. So that is so not good. But anyway, so Hogarth, like I said, Carrie Ann Moss is this really expensive, high-powered, attorney in New York, and she ends up with, okay, is it ALS or MS? She has one of these diseases that she is eventually going to kill her, basically. And it's very, I don't know. I don't, it didn't really do anything for me. I guess you're supposed to feel sorry for her, but I don't know. I kind of wanted her to still, because during the season, she asked Jessica, if I get really bad, can you make sure I kill myself or something? And, of course, Jessica's like, no, 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 no. But it just made me feel like, I like the Jerry or Hogarth that was not angry, but aggressive and fighter. And it seemed like she'd kind of given up, but not really, because she kind of started doing things she started to make things right that she had done in the past that were wrong. So, and it leads to a whole. I'm not going to go into the details, but it leads to a whole big mess, basically. So anyway, so that's Hogarth and Malcolm. And there's this other guy that lived down the hall from Jessica, and he was really cute. And they were dating, and he had a nice son. And I'm like, what happened to that guy? He was really nice. I think he was in one episode. But then she gets a new boyfriend, who is the guy. He actually played. If you saw Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. He played Abraham Lincoln. He's very cute. I don't know what his name is. I guess I should research these things before I come on the show. It's like, I don't think I need that. And then I'm here and I can't remember. Anyway, so he's the new boyfriend and he's got abilities too. And he's a nice guy. I like him. But again, he starts off using his powers for nefarious things. And, Jessica has to kind of she trusts him, then he does it, then she doesn't. And I think she ends up trusting him in the end, if I remember correctly. So the ending. Now again, this is the ending. Oh, before I get to the ending, sorry. Luke Cage pays a visit. It was like literally, it was so, I don't know what's the word. It was so much like almost like a phantom. It was like he was a ghost, but he wasn't a ghost. He was not a ghost. He was not supposed to be a ghost. But the way their conversation was so kind of weird. They just chit-chatted and, he basically said, you got to go to work and do your thing, basically. And he left. Like, it just didn't seem real. So I kept thinking like, like, is he coming back? Did she even have this conversation? Was she high and she was, passed out? Whatever. Okay. So I don't know. I didn't get that. I guess he was just there to encourage her to keep going, but okay. And again, not again, but Luke Cage has been canceled. I mean, I think all of those Marvel shows on Netflix have been canceled, as far as I know. But I don't really know why. I don't know. Maybe they weren't doing as well as people thought they should. I don't know if, they were expensive to film. I actually like Luke Cage, mainly because it was good. It was gritty. And I like, oh my God, I can't think of her name. Alfre Woodard. Alfre Woodard was on Luke Cage, and she was so good. I mean, it was really, I thought, a good show, but what do I know? So maybe I'll research that. Or again, if you want to call in and say, oh no, Luke Cage got canceled because of this, you can certainly do that. I guess I'm going to have to do more research. I don't know, but sometimes research is not fun. So we'll see. Okay. So we get to the ending, the last episode of Jessica Jones. And I honestly was, again, they leave you in this kind of fog or funk where you don't necessarily know what's going on and after it ends. And I guess that's what bothers me, even though it should not. It is not a big deal. Jessica goes to, I want to say it, either a train station or a bus station, and she wants to go to Mexico. So she buys this ticket. Oh no, she can't go all the way to Mexico, she ends up getting a ticket as close as she can, which is, I think, somewhere in Texas. And something happens where she's thinking about, I forgot exactly what she did, but she decides she's going to stay. So I guess she's still out there fighting crime and whatever. But I don't know. It just, and then, I don't know if I should say this, but, Trish, okay, spoiler alert, please pause and then watch it if you're ever going to watch it. But her friend Trish ends up in prison because she starts killing people too. So she basically goes from superhero to serial killer in one season, if you can believe that. So yeah, so that was the end, and it was just vague. I think that's my word for it. It's just vague. Like, I need more concrete. This is what happened, but they'll never do that. So I guess I'm just have to get over it. So I don't have any other shows that I was going to talk about today. But again, you can certainly call in. We can discuss it. But this is how I try to spend my time, when well, it's not like a break because, like I said, I'm still working during the summer. I'm working two jobs, and they're both teaching. And so if you have time and you'd like to watch these shows and then let me know what you think, sorry I ruined it. You shouldn't have listened. I told you spoiler alerts at the beginning. But anyway, you can definitely do that. Okay, so I'm trying to think of what else. Well, I have my quote of the day. So the quote of the day is dun 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 dun. It's from Booker T. Washington, actually. It says, "Any man's life will be filled with constant and unexpected encouragement if he makes up his mind to do his level best each day." So, I mean, yeah, we could talk about how he says he and his, but okay, you do know this is Booker T. Washington. So, many, many, many years ago, before the, women's rights and all that stuff movement. So let's look at it as he's saying any woman or man's life will be filled with constant and unexpected encouragement. Okay, so you will get encouragement, you will receive, and it will be coming at you quite a bit, it sounds like. Constant and unexpected encouragement if you make up your mind to do your level best each day. So, level best means your personal best, I would say, the best that you can each and every day. So, I think that this quote to me means that if you get up every morning and do the best that you can every day, you will receive some kind of encouragement. Now, it might not be verbal encouragement where somebody's saying, "Oh, good job," but it might be, something you need to get you through the day. Okay. It might be something, you witness in nature, or it might be some act of kindness, but you should, be ready and open for surprises, especially when you make up your mind that every day you're going to get up and it's going to be a good day. So, anyway, so I guess that's kind of where I'm at with that. I don't know. Please do me a favor. I don't know. I don't think this show was that good, but I don't know. Maybe I should start telling jokes or something. I can't tell you a joke. Okay, so now I'm stalling. I'm going to be honest. I'm just stalling. So, one of my students, and I put this on my personal Facebook page, but so one of my students, for some reason, well, I kind of know, but I don't know, he likes to work in a room by himself. So I let him go in the staff kind of lunchroom and do his work because they do the work on the computers for summer school. Anyway, so yesterday I was talking to him. I said, okay, I'm not going to say his name, but I said, I'm letting you stay in here because I trust you. And I said, and I really did say this. I said, but I said, I trust you. And I can't believe I said that. He's like, ooh, that's so offensive. Or he said, that's offensive. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably why I don't have a husband, too. And he thought that was very funny. All right, you know what? That joke was not funny. And I thought it was funnier when he said it to me because I started laughing because he started laughing. But anyway, so again, if you have any ideas you'd want to drop by on for the show, feel free. You can find us at my laugh class. It is on Facebook, and the show is called The Last Time I Saw You. I'm not sure if I said that. Did I say that at the beginning? I don't remember. But anyway, so yeah, and again, I'm trying to keep the show in the veins that would make sense to keep my logo, because I'm cheap and I really don't want to redo this. And I really like my logo. So it's The Last Time I Saw You. And again, since you're my guest that I'm looking and talking to, that's the last time I saw you would be the last time I had the show. So usually I have somebody in the studio with me. I don't know. This is pretty much Titanic level. Like we're just going down and I just keep playing like I'm in the band. Oh my God. This is terrible. Yeah, maybe I'll just tell jokes next time because this is painful. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it for today. But I just want to thank you for listening. Feel free to offer feedback. I am open. Again, what I will try to do definitely, because this was so painful, I will bring in some of the students that I had on before just to update you on how they're doing and what they're doing. But if you enjoyed this show, you can like us on Facebook at My Laugh Class. That's MILAUGHCLASS. Usually I take pictures, but you can do, I mean, like it'd be a selfie. How boring. But you can see a video of the show. And come back next time if you are brave and if you have time to waste and you want to see someone pretty much crash and you can come back and join me the next time on The Last Time I Saw You. Have a great day.